I say there, monstrosity. Do you know the times?
Why, it's about 3:15, which means it's time for the Moth Muse Show.
No, say it's not so!
Music, rants, news, and opinions.
Today, Junior?
On WFBH 1610 AM.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Hi.
Now, if any of you's got anything else to say, now's the time!
What are you people? On dope?
You heard this wench? Shut up!
No subject will ever be taboo.
No shirt, no shoes, no tie show.
Stop it, please! I beg you!
I was making radio shows for fun. If everybody does it, everybody I know... Shut up!
Thought that was pretty funny, didn't you?
It's the Moth Muse Show.
That sucked. You know something? You suck.
So that was the intro that I produced at home for the show.
So you played the whole intro? That's the whole intro?
That's the whole intro.
Is that like normal?
What do you mean?
That length and...
Well...
I've never listened to like talk radio.
I'll say this. If you recognize the theme song itself, it was an O&A theme song.
Oh.
That I just straight up bit.
Nice.
Now, what I was used to, and what I modeled the entire radio show off of, was O&A. And that's why we're talking about it this week. Mm-hmm. Is because, since we already had audio we were sitting on for a couple weeks, the last episode, episode 20, ended up just being, I think it was like 2008 O&A.
Oh.
Not, the big special diversion. So this would be the episode 20 if we didn't have that. And the whole point of Detox, or O&A Detox, is we're talking about the show, talking about how awful it was.
Yeah.
And just kind of saying like, here's its effect on pop culture, here's what was happening. Pretty much being like, hey y'all, I bet you didn't know that this sexist, racist radio show existed. Well, I've got some news for you. Well, I've got some more news.
Uh-oh.
Breaking news.
Uh-oh.
That when I was in high school, I was inspired deeply by O&A and wanted to do my own radio show. And fortunately enough, the high school I went to had a radio station that, from what I hear, is no longer operational.
Oh, that sucks. It makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The teacher who decided to take a chance on a, 13, 14-year-old me and give me an hour and a half a week of radio time.
Was it just like after school?
It was 3:15 to 5.
So yeah, after school.
Yes.
Okay, I was like, is that school time?
Yeah, that's after the school day. I would have 15 minutes from the end of the day class, run over to the broadcast production room, set up all my stuff. I had CDs of things that I'd recorded. Bits from home, sound drops if we needed to talk about a show.
What's a sound drop?
Just like a thing you would just splice in, a drop. If we were like, there's one episode we talked about the VMAs that just happened, I think the previous night. I came in with some pre-recorded bits from the VMAs to play and talk about, like I've heard them do on the radio. I had packets of paper, I still actually have them in the other room, I meant to bring them out here, of show prep.
What's show prep?
Preparation for the show. Articles that I would cull throughout the week. Researching things we could possibly talk about on the show, topics we could discuss, and I printed them out. I took it extremely seriously is what I'm trying to get at.
That's admirable. I like it. You're smiling and, like, almost cringing at yourself. But, like, I think it's cool.
The only reason I'm cringing is because there's a reason it's not a thing anymore.
What's not a thing? Your radio station?
The radio station, yeah.
But yeah, you're older now.
No, I'm saying nobody gave as much of a shit about it as I did.
Well, that's still admirable.
Yeah.
Like, you put your whole ass into a fucking...
My whole mussy.
Yeah, your whole mussy.
Into it.
Muzzy.
Muzzy. But we're not French.
Je suis la vie.
So there were other people in the club that were there before me.
It was a club?
It was a broadcasting club.
Oh, that's cool. And you gave the most shits?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I realize this is a super self-indulgent episode. I'm aware of that. There might be a very small group of people that find this interesting. This is for them. And also, I really haven't had a chance to talk about this as much with you, even.
Yeah.
And I've never played any of these clips for you, either. Mm-hmm. So, this is that.
Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah. You can see how cool I was.
Ooh. I think it's cool. Sure, there will be things that you shouldn't have said, probably, but we're probably not going to play those.
See, well, I'll get to that.
Uh-oh.
When I joined the club, I was, I think, in my sophomore year. And at that time, they would do things like, at the beginning of the day in the hallway when everybody was gathered, we would set up in the hallway, in the main hallway, with some CDs to give away, some swag that the record labels that the radio station partnered with, because there was an overarching company that we subscribed to, that their whole thing was they would send things out to high school radio stations for giveaways. And also, like, here are some bands you can play. Mm-hmm. And I actually have a couple drops that we got from some musical artists that I can play before we even get started here. I only pulled the ones you know, because there are other ones I have never heard of.
Hi, this is Jeff and David from Simple Plan, and you're listening to WFVH, The Jag.
Are they French? Okay, I need to look that up. I meant to, because I heard that and I was like, who the fuck is that? They are Canadian.
Are they French-Canadian?
Montreal, Quebec.
So
Holy shit! I had no idea that. The lineup consists of, just listen to these names, okay? Clearly I wasn't a huge fan. Pierre Bouvier on lead vocals. Chuck Comier on drums. Jeff Stinko on lead guitar. Sebastian Lefebvre, I don't even know how you pronounce that, was on rhythm guitar. And then I'm like, where the fuck is David? Oh, David joined the band in the early 2000s and departed in 2020 due to sexual misconduct allegations. David.
Wait, they were still doing stuff in 2020?
Huh?
They were still doing stuff in 2020?
They're on tour with Offspring now. So yeah, they must be. Just Simple Plan, we've gotta know. So yeah, apparently, that sucks.
What's going on? This is Tim with Switchfoot, and you're listening to WFVH, 1610 AM. Get tomorrow's hits today on the Jag.
They're American from San Diego, California. Tim was bass guitar and backing vocals. Not John Foreman, lead vocals and guitar.
Oh.
But that's fine, because we have some solo artists, and they have no choice here.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, this is JoJo, and you're listening to WFVH. Get tomorrow's hits today on the Jag.
So yeah, old JoJo, who's recently made a resurgence.
Has she?
I think she had a new single about a couple years ago.
I don't trust that. I don't trust you.
But we played Leave, parentheses, Get Out, back in the day.
Leave, get out,
leave.
Right now.
Yep, that's the one. I also don't have it here, but we had a Fifi Dobson reader.
I don't know who that is.
You don't remember Fifi Dobson?
Oh no, now I do.
Take me away. Take me far away from here. Anyway, we played that. I only said that because there was a time period where you mentioned Fifi Dobson, and I was surprised you knew who she was.
When did I mention Fifi Dobson?
This was years and years ago.
Are you thinking of the character Dodson from Jurassic Park?
Dodson here. We got Fifi Dobson here.
See, nobody cares.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
That's the sad part.
Hey, this is Wilson from 99.7 The Fox and Fox Charlotte. Fox News Rising on the TV. You are listening to WFVH. The Jag. You're jagging with the Jag. Bunch of Jagsters. G-Town in the house, baby. Yo, what's up?
Not a fan of that.
Did he walk into the bathroom right as he recorded that part?
No, that's a production from the teacher who led the production thing, because he used to work.
Did the teacher walk into the bathroom?
The teacher who used to work on the John Boy and Billy show for a brief period. Or he was a contributor? I don't remember.
Did he make parody songs?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. It's very surprising that you were able to pull that out, but yeah, he did.
Whenever, I don't know, I heard contributor for John Boy and Billy, and I'm like...
What other?
What else? It's not like they have a lot of meat to their show.
No, absolutely not. And Wilson there ended up being... I ended up working for Wilson for a brief period when he did nights.
Was there a fence in between you two and you could never see his face?
Oh! Yeah, you'd always give me sage-like advice, and I would,
And then when his face was revealed, everyone was like, "Oh my god, he's hot."
And then he died.
Yeah.
Like really soon after.
Yeah, there was a curse.
That was the only thing keeping him alive, was that fence.
Mm-hmm.
That's a shame. I was interning for him when he was doing nights on Saturdays at a conservative radio station. His show was nothing like the shows that were on during the week, thankfully. And it got to the point where my internship ran out. I asked him, I was like, "Hey man, it's Saturday. Nobody's fucking here. Can I keep coming in and just answering phones for you?" So I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." So to answer something you said earlier, no. I do not have a lot of the clips of me saying regrettable things, which was originally the plan going in. The original plan was to see the effect that the O&A show had on my show, and boy oh boy, here are some things I said that I really wish I hadn't. Mm-hmm. That would not have been a fun show. Mm-hmm. I got discouraged very quickly and stopped listening to the clips altogether.
Yeah, we can all admit that we've said some regrettable things in the past.
A lot of O&A influenced opinions on race relations. Mm-hmm. Not good stuff. Mm-hmm. So I said, fuck all of that. And entirely skipped a year of the show, because I said, I don't need to listen to any of that. Mm-hmm. So instead of listening to any episodes from 2003, originally it was very fly by the seat of our pants. A lot of it was left up to me. I would have to stop what I was doing and play music myself. Mm-hmm. And picking out songs wouldn't always be the easiest. And so what the teacher had done was he made an automated system to where at certain points of the show, bumpers would come in like music at an award show. Oh. And be like, all right, you've got 30 seconds left. Oh. And that would be the cue for me to wrap it up. And I would wrap it up. It would fade out. A couple songs, a couple of pre-produced bits would play, triggered automatically by the computer. Mm-hmm. Then the rejoiner bumper would come in, and I'd start the show back up again.
Do you have any clips of you not knowing that the wrap it up cue is coming, and you're like middle of a deep, juicy conversation? You're just like, yeah, and I just feel like the conflict in the Middle East is just... okay. Well, that's all you got.
No, ultimately, what would end up happening more often than not is like what you would hear on Alex Jones, where the bumper is playing, and he'll talk right up to the very end of it, and then just cut it off.
Oh my god. Nice.
All I knew was, okay, I have 30 seconds to wrap this up and be done by that point. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, and done.
Did you have a big clock?
No, not a big one. We just had a couple computers in front of me that had the time. I don't remember if there was like a big LED clock or anything. I actually have a picture. I have a couple pictures. I'll splice these in of the setup that we had here. I don't know why the pictures are so grainy, but you can see here that it was a closet that we used, where you would sit, you'd have a computer in front of you, there was a flat screen over here somewhere, there'd be a keyboard to look things up, some speakers, a couple different computers that ran different things, and a lot of it was to work the automation.
Okay.
And it was basically just to keep because it ran all the time.
Oh.
The station ran all day. We had a closed circuit television station that ran inside the school that ran a PowerPoint presentation all day for like announcements, reminders. Hey, you know,
it just looped.
Yeah, Key Club is meeting this afternoon at 3. Make sure to be there. Bring your blah 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 money.
Bring your keys.
Bring your keys. All that shit. And that's where they would do the morning announcements. They would show the couple kids sitting at the desk reading the awkward news that they had prepared.
Miss dress rehearsal practice is now. Today from 3 until, we don't know. Preliminaries are still tomorrow. Ladies, come today if you can.
The first episode I have pulled any clips from is from August 19th, 2004. Going back a ways. And we have a in-studio guest.
Oh my god, is it, I was gonna say, is it Limp Bizkit?
No, it's our my current English teacher. I was able to talk her into being a guest on the show. The main reason was she was only a few years older than we were, and she was a student at the school back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the pull.
Yeah.
So I had questions prepared about, you know, how things changed and what was it like when you... all that kind of stuff. But here is how it starts, and I'm just going to play this uninterrupted.
Mark Muse Show. Finally have a guest in here. We have a format. We'll get to that in a little bit, too. Smokey's here. He's so low with these stools up here.
Oh, that's fine.
My knees are hitting the keyboard.
You're small, but yet your knees are...
I know. It feels good to say that. Right, so I prepared 5 questions. But I wanted to do a wacky bit to get it out of the way, because I'm sure plenty of jokes have been made, or at least should have been by now, of hold on, things I should have prepared before the show. Hold on. We've only been on for a minute, and the thing isn't working. Play. Oh. Forget the joke. Moving on.
No!
That was the bit that you, like, we're just gonna have dead air? Was that the bit?
A fuck ton of it? No.
I imagine if you were... knowing you, if you had been listening to some random radio station and there had suddenly been dead air like that, you would have been creeped out.
Oh, yeah.
You'd have been like...
What the fuck happened?
What's happening?
Now, I did try to make noises every so often. So I was trying to play the Welcome Back Kotter theme song. Because, you see... in the sitcom, the teacher used to go to the school, and now he's teaching at the school.
That's on the radio station.
No. That's where the similarities end. Oh. That was it. But I ended up getting it to play later, and there's no point in even playing it. I don't know why. I was like, oh, now we got it.
It just randomly plays later in the middle of her talking?
Yeah, pretty much. And I think it was just so she got the joke, instead of, like, you know, because I'm sure she was so interested. Just in suspense.
It was a different time. There were no smartphones.
No, there really weren't. And, like, having graduated before... like, I don't think anybody in my class had a smartphone. I know some people had cell phones, but...
or like a BlackBerry.
Now, this is probably the weirdest question I wrote down.
Okay. Because
I just figured it would happen. Being not much older than the people who go here, have you been hit on by the students now?
Luckily, no, I haven't. Actually, I started elementary before, and I think my 3rd grade class was a lot worse than some of the kids
Seriously?
here. Very much.
How old? Like, that's like 8 or 9?
Yeah, 8 or 9. They definitely, they would ask questions, when are we getting married and things like that. But no, I haven't been hit on by a student here yet. So.
That you know of?
That I know of, yeah. I have no idea what's being said in the hallways. So.
The only thing I remember was one time we were in class, and a student was being disruptive, And he seriously did try to be like, I know you're only picking on me because you think I'm hot. And fucking got detention. Like, got kicked out of the fucking class. I'm just like, get that shit out of here. Like, what are you doing?
What the fuck?
Yeah, she was one of my personal faves, because...
All-time fave.
She was really cool, she was down to earth, super easy to talk to, and at the same time was take no shit, which is nice. I've been in correspondence with her over the past couple days. Just be like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, whatever. And I mentioned the radio show, and she was super nice. It was just like, oh my god, thank you for reaching out. That was so cool. I remember that. I didn't realize that I had a very recent photo of myself attached as my, like, display picture for emails. So she was just like, I love your whole thing. And she was just like, my daughter wants pink hair. I think I might let her. It was just really nice.
Oh, sweet.
That's how I found out that the radio station isn't a thing anymore. I asked her, and she was just like, no, it kind of fell apart. Which I think the biggest disappointment...
Well, the janitors needed the closet space.
I did say it's probably just a closet now. It was attached to, if you walked out of the closet, that was the room where it was the computers and the VCRs that you would use to edit the intro videos to the morning announcements, which I did the previous semester, actually. Like, edited videos that haven't played before the intros. And the very next room is the room where they filmed the announcements. So that was the whole, like, media center.
You know, it's surprising to me. It's not surprising to me. It's just unfortunate that you had all of this experience under your belt, like years of experience in broadcast and radio, and it just so happened to correlate with the death of broadcast and radio.
Yeah. How about that?
Like, you could have gotten such a good job if you had been, like, if it had been 10 years before.
Yeah.
Like, you could have gotten a job out of high school, I bet.
The timing was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Right about when when my internship at the conservative radio station was coming to an end, I asked I don't know if it was program director or general manager of the station, whoever was my go-to, talking about the internship. I was like, is there any jobs I can apply to, or a job, like, I can apply for? And he was like, I mean, everything's going automated, so no, not really. Like, last time I was there, unless I'd heard, they still have people who work as board ops, like, hitting things, because the host only has so much power for what they do. So the guy behind the production booth, he does everything else, but I figured, you know, maybe we can do that, but I guess they had everyone they needed.
Yeah.
And when I was interning there, all I was doing was answering phones. So maybe they didn't need that either.
Yeah.
But there's always kind of that spot open for interns. Like, even when I actually applied for the internship, the guy working there said, you're overqualified for this. I was like, I know. I need this, though. And at that point, I had already applied to, like, every other radio station in town. So for anyone who thinks, why were you interning at a conservative right-wing talk news station? Not my first choice.
Yeah.
It was honestly the only one that showed any interest, and I have no idea. Like you said, I did radio in high school. I knew what the fuck I was doing. I wasn't applying for an on-air spot. Like, I wasn't that, you know, I didn't have balls like that. I knew, like, y'all have professionals that have been here forever.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to do, like, production, maybe.
Right.
Like, I can edit some things. I fucking edited my own goddamn intro to my radio show in high school.
Come on.
Who's doing that? So the next bit I have here, you heard a little bit in the last one, a friend of mine who we called Smokey.
Yeah.
Like you to guess why that was.
We both had friends called Smokey.
We did?
Yeah, Chris was called Smokey.
Why was that?
Because she smoked a lot.
Okay. That was same exact reason.
Cigarettes mostly, and weed.
Yep. That was the same exact thing with old Kevin. We nicknamed him Smokey for that. Actually, we nicknamed him Smokey after, I think there was a character in Dude, Where's My Car called Smokey McPot or something. You saw the movie more than I did. But...
maybe.
Well, I've never seen the movie. I just remember someone saying the name Smokey McPot and saying it was from that. So we called him that. So Smokey is my guest. Every week I was able to get...
Your guest?
Well, my co-host.
Okay.
Because every week I was able to pull from my group of friends, my very weird my small group of friends that ranging in weird eccentricities, to join me. Sometimes I flew solo, but honestly, not often.
Yeah.
Very fortunate that they were willing to help me in this, and that they had a fun enough time that they wouldn't mind. So I got a letter in the mail from a company that said that they were interested and they wanted me to try to apply.
What company wants my services? Welcome to the John Casablanca's Modeling and Career Center website.
Oh, you see it? Do they even know what you look like?
I don't think they do.
Oh my god.
They want me to be a model. So hey, yeah, look at me. I'm the next model. Check
You're
me out.
the next supermodel. I think they would like your look.
Yes, it's unique.
Yes, it is.
It's a frame that's very rarely seen in males.
That's a very cis thing to say. That's just a normal thing you say.
Yeah.
When you're cisgender.
So let's see, about the company. Why not? For anyone who wants to improve his or her or his look, notice how her is before his in this situation, or develop the poise and self-confidence that can help in modeling or any other career. To save myself from sounding extremely gay here, it's not only modeling. It's also for walk-on roles in music videos, perhaps. Maybe. But they want my image.
They want your image.
I'm not marketable. I'm not an image that will sell things.
Yes, you are.
If I'm in Gap jeans will plummet in stock.
Thou doth protest too much.
A lot of it is redirection.
Right.
And yeah, just throwing people off the scent, for sure. So I looked up this company. And it's a scam. It's a giant scam.
Yeah, they all are.
You look on the website, and they have a ratings section, a reviews section.
Oh, from brave of them.
Yeah, it's 75% one-star reviews.
Yeah.
And that's just public on the website for all to see.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. Better Business Bureau came a-knocking? I don't know. But yeah, everybody is saying, you go there, people are extremely rude and pushy, and you apply for things that don't exist, essentially, and you just never get calls back, and it's a disaster. They have an Instagram page where they just post headshots of people who are taking the class, and they try to make it seem like, oh, this person's destined for, walk-on roles. It's like, look at it. They're never gonna do anything. It's really sad.
Hi, I'm Carol Alt. You've seen me on hundreds of magazine covers and television commercials, but let me tell you, getting started in modeling wasn't easy. It took a lot of hard work, training, and some luck. So I thank John Casablancas for helping me in my modeling career. You want my advice? Let John Casablancas discover the model in you, or let him bring out the best in you for whatever career you may choose. So contact the John Casablancas Modeling and Career Center now. Tell them Carol sent you.
So, I was not roped into this scam. Fortunately enough, I can say that. Unfortunately enough, I was not so lucky with another scam that we got an email for. An organization called Who's Who Amongst American High School Students. And it's a thing where if you pay $50, you get your name in a book that gets sent to your house that, it's for people who achieved certain excellence in their high school. So, I graduated with, I think it was a 3.75. So it was decent. It wasn't amazing, but it was well enough, I guess. So my mom thought, oh yeah, sure, why not? Have me immortalized in this book. So I get the book. It's this little hardcover book full of other saps. And it gives you a rundown of who you are, your grade, and then things you took part in high school, the clubs you were part of and all that. It got broadcasting right, which was nice. It also says I was on the volleyball team.
Aww.
It said I was a member of the Christian Athletes.
Aww.
I think it said I was on the yearbook, that I was in the Key Club. None of it was true.
That's so weird.
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of bullshit. I actually did a video about it back on YouTube, like, in 2008. So I might, like, if I left any clubs out, I'll put it in there. But yeah, I have no idea how they got any of that, or what the point of it was, besides, I guess, just getting $50 from unsuspecting people.
Mu Alpha Theta. Spanish Club? No. The Literary Magazine.
What's really sad is, there was an intern for O&A back in the late 90s who also said that he was in that book, and he, like, bragged about it.
No.
So that's how I knew about it, for one.
Oh.
And I didn't realize, this character on the show whose whole gimmick is let's make fun of him for how stupid he is. Now I'm just following in his footsteps, buying into the same thing. So that's regrettable. We go on for a bit. A lot of what I end up doing on this show is putting me in these situations that I could get roasted, but only for things I'm okay with them roasting me for. Like I said before, it's a weird thing to bring up and talk about, looking feminine and all these things. These are things that I kind of welcome to be made fun of, for whatever reason, subconsciously or not. But I do find myself taking a lot after Opie back in these days, because boy oh boy, do I hate to be corrected. If I say something wrong or someone makes fun of, like, if I stumble over a word or something, it's just, shut up. Like, I get so mad. It's like, I can make fun of anybody in the room. The second you make fun of me, I'm mad. Which is exactly what ends up happening with Opie, where they used to say you would walk on Greg shells when you were around him because you didn't want to piss him off.
Oh, that's right. His name's Greg, right?
Yeah, Greg, with 2 G's. Like egg.
Greg.
With 2 G's.
Opie and Anthony will be heard exclusively on XM's newest premiere channel, High Voltage XM202. And you have no idea who that is.
No.
But they're hilarious. A radio show out of New York.
Right now, on your special interest radio show that we record, we're talking about how in the past you had a radio show that you talked about your special interests on.
Yeah.
That's such a very specific hobby.
Yeah, how about that? It's very in line with me.
Yeah.
They're edgy. Very funny. And mostly the reason why I'm here, doing what I'm doing. Because they are an influence.
For you to...
For me doing radio.
Trucking.
Keep trucking.
All the credit in the world to Kevin. He does not give a shit.
He's just happy to be there.
He's just happy to be there. He loves that.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah, he really is. So they would start in October. So only 2 months later, they'd start on XM. And it would kind of have an effect on what the show became, because I would blatantly steal bits. But going from Smokey, we come back to Smokey later. We're going to a couple that I actually had on the show. And just another glimpse of the group of people I ran with at this time.
Yeah, this is enlightening.
Hey, this is Wolf Artemis Rain.
People probably...
Amarash-chan!
So this was that one table.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the same table I was at.
Yeah. So, Wolf Artemis Rain, not his name.
Excuse me?
That's Anthony.
Oh my god, don't dead name them.
I'm sorry! I have no idea what they go by now.
Don't human name them.
I've tried to look up everybody that had to do with this show to try to get some information on them, see what they're doing. I cannot find Anthony. I cannot find his girlfriend at the time anywhere.
What was her name?
Alana.
What did she say her name was?
I can't make it out.
Me neither.
It's something Chan, though. So
within an uwu voice in 2004. So here, let the record show. 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yep.
We had uwu voices. So y'all are original.
So that was their whole bit. She would walk around school with the tail and the ears and everything. And there was one time in class, actually, that she wasn't there. A class that we had together. And she wasn't there. And another girl in the class started talking shit. So, in the middle of class, I was just like, yeah, real brave of you to talk shit when she's not here.
Damn.
Like, fucking put her on Main Street.
Nice.
In front of everybody. I'm just like...
defend your friends.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. So we continue on here a little bit more with her. We talk about for whatever reason we talk a lot about the Blue Collar Comedy Tour in this episode. I guess it was around this time it was pretty prevalent.
Mm-hmm. The get her done thing is getting
Yeah,
way too overused. People gotta stop using that.
Here's your sign.
Here's your sign is here's your sign isn't used that much, so I like it.
Oh God. I love how serious the conversation is. Yeah, they gotta stop using it. It's using it too much.
Get her done is overused. Here's your sign, though.
Classic.
I'm glad I have my Blahash here, so I can just scream into it whenever the cringe is too bad.
Mm-hmm.
You're like blocking me out of the conversation. I feel left out.
Sorry. But with the get her done thing and how overused that is.
Oh, the DJ at my work uses that.
I bet
it gets so tiring. I'll be working down in the skate room.
Hey, get her done.
Yeah, it's just like, let's get her done. And I'm like sitting there thinking,
Stop it.
Yeah, I'm like sitting there, oh God, I'm going to shoot you.
Mason did it for like a week, and then everybody, it's...
How is Mason? I haven't seen him in a while.
Holy crap. Oh, we don't talk to him. We really don't talk. It's a shame because we should be, but we don't.
This is a little bit of lore.
Oh.
I mentioned Mason said it, and Anthony goes, "Oh, Mason, how is he?" And I immediately shoot back with, "We don't talk to him. He graduated the year before."
So this was your senior year?
Yeah, I don't have any clips of him on this because the episodes I pulled from are with people who got it and were good for the show.
Mm-hmm.
Previously to this, I had people on the show who were not as interested, I guess. Mason was clearly neurodivergent in a way that he would get distracted very, very easily. He would just veer off, start making noises, start doing things, and not really participate, which made the show very difficult. And I had a couple other friends who were kind of the same way. So
you don't say.
Right?
You had friends like that?
I ran with a neurodivergent crowd?
You ran with the wolf girl and her wolf boyfriend at that specific table where everyone played Naruto?
Right? Yeah, exactly, Naruto. and Yu-Gi-Oh! Too.
Same.
Yeah. So I don't have clips of those because those episodes for me are really hard to listen to. Because they just don't flow, and it's boring. And it irritates me on a way of just like, oh my God, please get back on track, please. We mentioned Mason briefly.
I haven't seen him in ever. I mean, I would talk to him. I actually saw him, but I haven't seen him
I said
forever.
he was nice, but he creeped me out. He kept following me around.
Poking her.
He was a poker. Quite the poker indeed.
Yeah.
I hate when people poke me.
We talk about poking here in a second too. You can relive some fucking poking memories.
It is like, it just goes back to, I'm not touching you. In my head, it links to that.
Yeah.
And then so when people, I don't know why it became a thing.
Neither do I. It must have been funny in something.
Because
someone had seen it in something and thought, like, oh, we should start doing that in real life.
Because it's not even just like a, hey, poke. It's a very specific,
it's a slow, deep poke.
And facial expression of just like, Yeah, exactly. It's not just poke. It's
a slow, deep poke.
I wish the audience could see, you know what I'm talking about, though.
It's like a 2-beat poke.
Yeah, it's like a
1, 2
Yeah.
poke. Yeah, it's slow. It's slow and deliberate.
It's so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And they often would say poke.
They have to
while
say
they were doing it.
Yes.
And I'm like, don't fucking touch me.
I was big don't touch me person too.
Yeah. There were very specific people that I let some of my besties bite me. There would be
This is definitely a bitey crowd too.
Oh my God, I'm sitting here wait a second. Yeah, we would just bite each other.
Yeah.
That's
fine.
Totally neurotypical.
Yeah.
One of my longest known friends is one of the biting friends.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's just we would just bite each other. We would literally hug, bite each other platonically.
Sure.
We were never we made out once, but it was just okay, yeah, that's just a thing. We made out. But we were siblings. And we would hug and then bite each other and then get on a buses and say bye. It's the weirdest.
That's totally normal.
So normal.
Yeah. So in this clip, also, I'm gonna give a little bit of a pre-warning. I go on kind of a boomer tirade.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we'll get there when we get there. It's very South Park opinion, which, I mean, it was fucking written by might as well be boomers, so.
Yeah.
But,
Poking is like the goth greeting. You, like, see someone and how you go poke.
I mean, I'm not gonna say anything about goth people. I'm just gonna say that I'm not gonna say anything, because all of them are gonna come up and kill me someday. But I'm saying
I know a lot of them, man. They're not like
this
that.
is my I'll tell you what I'm thinking. This has been the thing that I've been thinking for a while about the group, because it is a group now.
Yeah.
Is the fact that their whole idea pretty much is trying to not conform and trying to be different. But if you get them all in a room together,
They're conformed.
they
and
look
they're
exactly
saying,
alike, and they listen to the exact same music and wear the exact same clothes.
Yeah.
Act the exact same way. They're conforming to themselves by not trying to conform to other people.
So it's like, I never thought of it like that.
Well, look,
I never saw like Facebook memes. I never saw like 60-year-olds posting about, you know, how they're so over the, you know, they were hippies, right? But now they got these goth people, right? And like, you know, you're right.
That's real deep.
You got your finger on the pulse.
The exact same way. They're conforming to themselves by not trying to conform to other people.
Yeah.
So
it's redundant. Me, I'm not a goth. I'm not freak. I'm not weird. I'm myself.
The three of us are really nothing.
Yeah, you're not really a snob either.
No disrespect to Anthony, but are you seriously going to say, I'm not a freak, I'm not weird?
I'm just normal. Don't call him Anthony.
I'm sorry, Wolf Artemis Rain, or Wolfie, as Alana would call him.
Wolf Artemis Rain. War?
Oh no!
They roleplayed.
Oh, they had to have.
They're probably roleplaying right now.
I hope so.
No, in this clip.
Oh! I thought you meant in 2023, and I hope so. I hope they're still at it.
I hope we're all role-playing.
I hope they're not just boring, stuck-up people now. That would break my heart if they're not as weird as they were back then.
I feel like all the weirdos that I knew back then are still very much weirdos.
I am myself, and that's it.
I try not to be anything.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're the, like,
it's not hard to
whatever
be.
Yeah.
It's just like, whatever, okay, I'll hang out
I'll
with
do
this
what I
group, and
want
I'll hang out with this
I
group.
know, I'm
Doesn't
like-
matter. I mean, I'm friends with everyone.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone thinks. I was into Pokemon. It was cool back then.
It was cool
I thought
then.
the characters were cute.
It was cool then. I'm not talking about the show, I'm talking about the cards. I still have those. If anyone wants to buy them, my number is...
He doesn't actually give it out. What were you going to say?
So what do you mean? Back then, what did you mean by, I try not to be anything?
I guess just... I wasn't going out of my way to try to fit in with a group or take on any aspects of groups, I guess. Which I guess it was more or less... Ultimately, it was, I just desperately did not want to be made fun of. So, putting myself out on a limb and making myself different in a way was petrifying. So, I dressed very straight. Mm-hmm. You know what kind of shirts. Very plain shirts, striped shirts, blue jeans. Mm-hmm. Nothing fun. Occasionally, after a while, I started wearing some Family Guy shirts. That's the wildest you would get me. I wore a fucking... a Stewie shirt. I had a foamy shirt. I'll put the picture right here.
I wish you still had a foamy shirt.
Which foamy shirt did I have? I don't know what it said. I hope you choke on a biscotti.
Yeah, I was really into foamy back then,
And he's holding up a biscotti with his angry eyebrows.
You love biscotti.
I do! Maybe that's why I got it.
What do you think your aesthetic would have been back then if you weren't just trying to be nothing?
I don't know. Because I didn't allow myself to like a lot of things. Like, if it was popular, I tended to stay away from it. I prided myself on being, quote, like, off the beaten path.
Different.
Like, I listened to a radio show that nobody was interested in. The TV shows I watched were kind of different and stuff that normal people wouldn't watch.
What did you watch?
Like, I watched a lot of Food Network and Game Show Network and wrestling. Like, nothing anyone at school was talking about. Like, I wasn't watching the WB lineup. I wasn't watching the sitcoms that everyone was watching.
I forgot about, like, TV.
Yeah, like, I wasn't watching the Fox reality shows, like Simple Life sports. And all that. Yeah, no, I wasn't watching... Well, I watched a little bit of football, but not enough to really, like, carry... I watched enough to carry on a very brief conversation. And that was it. Basically... Same. I basically knew as much about football as I do now.
I watched just enough football to be able to write a column about it in my high school newspaper.
Okay. That's helpful.
No, it's not.
Oh. Well. We have a little bit more from this Anthony, I'm sorry, Wolf and...
Thank you.
I can't make out what she said. I don't know what her name is.
Wow.
So, I mean, could you in the uwu voice?
You were friends with her.
I never heard her say that outside of that conversation there.
Oh, so it was a bit.
It might have been a bit.
Okay.
So, when I was talking about...
Did she really just go uwu?
Like, okay, hold on.
Wait a second.
No, she meowed.
Okay.
I'll rewind it, because you can hear it takes me off guard.
Just like a Discord kitten.
I don't know, I just like...
Folks, random animal noises will be present during this show.
I heard a random meow. I had to stop and look. Okay.
No, there's not a cat in here. At least not a small one.
I claim them.
I'll give her some antidepressants later, folks.
Ah, the first punch of the day on the air. Beautiful.
Yeah, they'd also hit each other a lot.
The couple?
Yeah. That's like a joke. Because, you know... In anime, you would just, like, hit people, and that would be, like, a funny bit. So, she would smack him, and it'd be a funny bit.
Impulse control issues.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It falls under that, sure.
Like biting.
Huh?
Like biting.
Like biting, sure.
But I want to clarify, we were all consenting to the biting.
Okay, yeah, I figured. I figured everyone thought it was cool, sure.
There'd be surprise bites sometimes, but...
Ooh! Back to Mason here. I don't have any clips from episodes that he was in, but I do have this. Me and my girlfriend at the time, who were all mutuals, basically, like everybody was friends with everybody. We had this really fun idea over the phone. Mm-hmm. To call Mason up as a prank, and tell him that I was gay.
That's like such a funny joke.
Such a hilarious joke.
But wait, what? Why would Mason care?
It's just a prank on him.
That's a very weird thing to call a prank. To say, I'm going to call my friend and tell them I'm gay. It's that'll show him.
I think I explain it. Yeah, I explain it in the next bit. Yeah, so I recorded the phone call.
Oh.
And I then played it back to my girlfriend afterwards. Mm-hmm. And that's the bit. So I have the phone call.
This is such a roundabout way to come out to your girlfriend.
She already knew. It's weird.
It's just so weird.
Listen to how not a joke it is to me.
Oh.
I haven't listened to this in forever.
The joke is that I'm so serious about it, haha.
Yeah, right? And I actually haven't listened to this whole clip, so I don't know where this goes.
Oh, okay.
I kind of cringed and I had to bail. So...
It's been going on for a few years, and I don't know how to deal with it, and I don't know any other friends that I could tell.
Oh, so you called me?
Yeah, because you know Kelly, and you're kind of close to her.
Yeah.
But I'm gay. I'm gay.
Goodness. Well.
I know. It's really freaking hard to deal with. It's like, can't tell anybody, you don't know how anyone's gonna respond to it.
This is the first time I actually had this happen to me.
Well, you know, gay girls, though.
Yeah, but they never actually told me, like, yeah, I'm gay.
Well, it's not like I could outwardly express myself at school.
Well, I just kind of, I'm not mad at you, nothing, I'm just like...
yeah, I know.
Just kind of confused. Like, I thought, you know, you, like, really liked Kelly, you know?
It's just a really complicated front.
Oh.
Yeah. It's just,
Yeah.
And if I didn't get a girlfriend soon, it'd be like, people would start thinking stuff.
Well,
Like, that dude hangs around with a lot of guys, maybe he's gay.
thank you, I guess.
Yeah, just a little heads up.
Oh, okay.
Yep, well, I'm gonna call Kelly now.
Well, are you gonna tell her or just gonna...
No, I can't.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna have to think of a really way to, break it to her easy.
The joke obviously played out really well. He's just really concerned and says that he's fine with it and is a good friend.
Damn, what a joke. Joke's on you, I guess.
Yeah. So that was a bummer. So I wanted to include that because, again, just, taking any chance to kind of do something, but...
So this was your idea exclusively, or you and your girlfriend?
I think it was both. It was mine. It was mine. I was like, hey, wouldn't it be really funny? And she was like, haha, yeah.
How often did you ever do prank calls?
Never. You can tell from that one.
So you were friends with this person?
Yeah.
What's his name?
Mason.
Well, I mean, I guess you could cut that name. Let's just one name or whatever.
Yeah.
And you were... Do you think you were good enough friends that you could have ever seriously come out to him?
Yeah. But we talk about it a little bit more here because Mason comes up again, talking on another episode with Anthony from the last episode and Smokey from the episode before that.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to say to Mason you were gay, he would believe it for the simple fact that it's you.
What do you mean? That you're so small and petite.
Is that what you were getting at?
You took the words out of my mouth.
What, that I have a feminine physique? Is that what you're trying to get at?
I hate to say it, man, but your girlfriend's more muscular than you.
I know. God,
I'm sorry. Okay, that's the only one I'll do today. That's the only joke I'll do today.
At least mine doesn't beat me up and bite me.
It doesn't hurt, and I kind of like something.
Oh, okay. Leave that for off air. Or maybe like, sorry, audience, we'll touch on that during the break. But none of that for you.
Leave it to your imagination.
Yes, please do.
And Alana, don't kill me later.
Okay, a lot of fake laughs in there. But a few things I wanted to highlight. Listen to how he says he'd believe it because it's you.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to how I say, what do you mean?
If you were to say to Mason you were gay, he would believe it for the simple fact that it's you.
What do you mean?
I'm like laughing as I say it.
What do you mean?
I'm like, what do you mean? So badly. Just wanting that fucking veil to fall.
Where it's just like, yeah?
Like, y'all are so close. Y'all are so close to getting it.
Can y'all see me?
Yeah, it was one of those. Because then later, like I'm still laughing, and I'm like, yeah, come on. It's so, like, wow, this is so funny. We're all just having such a fun time.
Yeah, I'm just, like, so petite.
Wouldn't it be so funny?
I'm so little.
I specifically mentioned having a feminine physique in that clip.
Sure who said
again.
That. Mm-hmm.
Again! How did it take me so long to realize that? This is another example of wanting that veil to fall again. I tease it by saying that I went and got my hair cut recently.
Mm-hmm.
And that the person who cut my hair offered me a service that I took her up on.
Would you like me to thin your eyebrows?
Are you serious?
I have never been asked that.
She asked me that, and I go, oh, okay. So she takes... Anthony's giving me the look like, what happened to the friend I thought I once knew? So the woman puts a comb through the eyebrows, right?
Why would you need a comb?
Just to get...
Just to get it there.
Just to get a certain
continue.
amount.
Okay, continue. I'll stop asking.
She takes the razor and goes...
So cuts all your eyebrow off, doesn't she?
So they weren't as bushy.
Feminine.
Oh. Why do I go down these routes? I know it's just gonna end in torment.
Why? Why do I do this?
So who was the person? Kevin?
Kevin, yeah.
Yeah.
There's Kevin and Anthony in that clip.
Yeah, being like, at no point when mentioning any femininity is it like, yeah, you fucking queer, some bullshit.
No.
It's just sort of like, yeah, feminine. Sort of matter-of-factly.
He's so cool about it.
Yeah.
Which, again, I ran with a pretty cool, accepting group.
Yeah.
Why did I think it was a problem to ever tell them in earnest?
Mm-hmm.
This one's regrettable. And it borderlines on queerphobic, a little bit of transphobia, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about recent events at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I talk, like, oh, we just had the grand opening with the football player.
Oh, yeah.
And everything. And then I tell this story.
So besides the grand opening, we had a guy come in, and hope he's not listening. Came in with a little dog. He had a little dog, and he was petting it like this, and he had his
Dr. Evil.
head tilted like this, just looking all bug-eyed, petting his little...
Tilted like this?
Petting his little poodle that he was holding.
No, you said tilting like this. Well, you have a TV in here now?
Oh, it was tilted to his shoulder.
There you go.
And it was like looking the opposite direction
If you
from
want
the
to be a
poodle.
professional radio broadcast,
Yes.
you gotta tell every move you make.
I know. And he's petting his little poodle walking throughout the store with his nice little sweater. So he seriously reminded me of Buffalo Bob from Silence of the Lambs.
Oh, yeah.
Put Precious in the basket.
Yeah, I'm gonna quote the movie, but I'm gonna get the name fucking wrong. Fucking asshole.
Like, if he bought a TV, I was expecting him to go, can you help me get it in my van? And then I go in first, he beats me up, and then he puts me in a big well.
Well, yeah, of course you would, because of your feminine charm.
There you go, and my feminine skin, it rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
Nice bit about this 14-year-old movie. Anyway, yeah, I thought that guy was super cool.
At the time?
Yeah. I just thought, hey, wouldn't this be funny to rag on this guy?
That's what you do.
Yeah. Hey, you guys want to rag on him, right? That's what we do. As straight guys, we make fun of queer people.
We're so straight.
Who go out in public and dare dress feminine.
Mm-hmm.
And
I genuinely, there'll be times where I'll be like, oh my god, what would it have been like if we had gone to high school together? If I had been who I was, and I went, when I was in high school, and I went to your high school, it would have been a living hell, I imagine, for me.
Yeah.
And...
because there weren't a lot of people who were out of the ordinary.
And if you had gone to my high school, I feel like you would have been... Okay, imagine your high school. And how maybe you were, and how some other people were, where it's just like, I have to sort of conform and not, I gotta be as normal and not obtrusive as possible. It's like it was sort of the reverse in my high school, where all of the preppy normie kids that also happened to do art, and their parents just wanted them to go to an art school, they sort of tried to be weirder than they were.
Oh no.
And...
to try to fit in?
Yeah.
But it wasn't authentic?
Yeah, it wasn't authentic.
You could tell.
And, but... yeah, but there was obviously just the ones who were just straight up, dyed-in-the-wool weirdos that I feel like I hung out with. And we were all stoners and shit like that. So, I don't know. If we had met, out of the context of school, I wonder what you would have thought of me.
I would have thought you were cool. I don't know if I would have been comfortable in approaching you, though. I probably would have been intimidated.
Intimidated how? Being seen with me?
No.
Or, just as a person to walk up to?
As a person to walk up to. I mean, this was the clique I rolled with. Mm-hmm. I knew. It was Theater Geeks, the anime crowd, the one kid in the school in a wheelchair. Everybody that typically gets made fun of by other people, we were in the group together. Kind of like a support group for each other almost. So I didn't mind being seen with these people. I kind of expected we would get made fun of because we normally did on our own anyway. So I wouldn't feel like that with you back then. It just would have been, I'm like that with anybody. Just kind of if you said something to me, though, I would have gravitated to her. Do I know that?
Why did you message me on the dating site?
I thought I liked your style.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think, like, I'm trying in my head to think of, like, how we change once we're out of high school. And how it's, like, and, you know, out of our parents' house. And how we can, like, just open up and be whoever we want to some degree. At whatever rate. So it's, like, it's interesting progression, because this was senior year.
I'm dropping little hints, hoping to grab onto, like, someone to...
Yeah!
If someone were to pull me aside and go, like, hey, I just want you to know it's cool. Mm-hmm. If you are, you can tell me. Mm-hmm. I probably would have. We're talking about David Lee Roth, who, of Van Halen fame, and will be morning talk show host fame after Howard leaves, but that's not for a few years. And he wants to take training to be an EMT.
Several weeks ago, Roth saved the life of a heart attack victim in the Bronx by using, word of the day, a defibrillator.
Like you're making a little fib out of you later.
A defibrillator?
Yes.
Defibrillator.
That was corny.
Yes, but it's a good way to learn words.
It helped me say it. Thank you.
It's a good way to learn words.
Defibrillator.
I said it wrong first. I said what did I say first? I said it wrong at first.
Today, a defibrillator.
You said it right.
Defibrillator?
Yeah.
Defibrillator?
Yeah.
It's not defibrillator?
No.
It's defibrillate?
It's defibrillate.
Really?
Right?
So I did say it right. Holy shit! And everybody jumped down my throat about it afterwards.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Defibrillator, yeah.
I swore it was defibrillator. Wow. One of the bits we play throughout the show as a segue is a thing called I don't know, it was some downloaded news break by this guy. It was called like Bite This or something. And it's this angry leftist who talks about news stuff. And this is, for reference, the bit we play before we come back from break.
Bush pushes his twisted values on all of us and wants to cover the world with them. It's not democracy Bush doles out. It's a dictatorship that hands out genocide and control with a Bible and a smile. Our democracy has failed when we can't control our own fates, when voting gives us only choices of bad and worse, and when we have no control over our leaders' actions. For those who believe in doomsday, every religion has one, it's people like Bush who usher it in. Democracy leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Now we're the communists, we're the Nazis, we're the terrorists. And bet your bottom, an invasion of Iran or South Korea is next. When everybody is just like us, the world will be safe, right?
I don't know why you had to throw communists in there as like a bad thing to be, but it was also 2004, and he's just, you know, probably just a liberal, so you can't get too much. So yeah, that reminds me that we're not just joined by Kevin this episode. We also have a teacher who at this point was my history teacher, who was one of my favorite teachers, but was also leader of the Young Republicans Club. And loved Reagan. And I wish I'd known what I knew now, because I would have challenged him on stuff a lot more.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a lot of Reagan dick riding. He had a fucking, like, poster in the room of Reagan. Yeah.
The fuck?
One clip I came across was, we were talking about history, and I said something to the effect of, Nixon wasn't all bad.
Yeah, that's something. That's something to say.
That's something you would take away from a class taught by the Young Republicans guy, anyway. You can't blame me. I'm only learning what we're reading in the book and what he's telling us. It's his fault. We come back from break, and he was there for that bit we just heard.
Okay.
So we had just played possibly the most extreme left radio that you'll probably hear with the Young Republicans guy in the room. Opinions on that clip? Your eyes almost popped out of your head when you said genocide brought with a Bible and a smile.
Wow. Wow.
That's all you can say.
Yeah, that's all he says. Probably for the best.
Wow.
It would have been bad if he went on a tirade, I imagine. Because I don't know where I would have stood on it.
Mm-hmm.
And he probably thought best not the place for that.
Yeah, I don't want to lose my job.
Yeah, probably not.
Lots of, I mean, not just like one or two cheerleaders, but plenty have been, not exactly complaining because it's a valid issue. Some suggestive move I'm hearing that they were not, they didn't want to be party to. It was like it was suggestive in a way that parents were pulling the kids out and were refusing that they do this move, and people were quitting, and just not a good thing going on with the cheerleading group. And then this afternoon they hear, oh, a pep rally will be held. I'm sure we're gonna see a lot less faces there than we normally do.
Yes. Something I will pride our show on was that I did not mind or shy away from talking about stuff that was actually happening at the school. So I vaguely remember this. I don't remember what the move was, but to openly just be talking about, yeah, cheerleaders are quitting because they're being told to do the suggestive move. And I don't remember getting in trouble for that.
Yeah.
But this would happen a few times. We had a teacher in one time, and I grilled him about the displays of affection policy that was at the school. I would oftentimes try to just give a quick peck to my girlfriend at the time between classes, and I would always get something said to me. But you would have people who were on, like, the basketball team and stuff who would be able to pretty much get away with whatever the fuck they wanted.
Yeah.
So we had a teacher in who I think was part of the sports, like, he was one of the sports teachers, I guess, part of that group. And I fucking asked him about it. He was like, why are athletes getting away with it? Like I'm sitting there, I'm like, fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Go for it! I don't always have the best take on things.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we're gonna talk about some real shit, too.
Nice.
So, yeah, I think that's one of the better aspects of the show. One of the teachers we have in the room's favorite movies is, It's a Wonderful Life. And we talk about it briefly. This is just an exchange about the movie.
After he and Mary are running after they go out on the date, you know, she goes behind the bushes, the clothes come off, you know, accidentally or something. There's a very interesting situation. Man doesn't find himself in a situation like this every day. And then, you know, they come and tell him his father's had a heart attack, so he has to leave.
Yeah.
And did the gentlemanly thing and left the clothes. That is a good quality movie.
Oh,
a lot of good morals and things in it.
And, you know, if a day goes wrong, there's nothing against yelling at your daughter playing the piano and smashing a desk.
All right, well said. He redeems himself in the end, though.
Playing Hark the Angels, saying, I told you to play, now play!
Daddy!
I was just gonna say oh, Daddy! What was that one daughter's name? Was Zozo, or what was it?
What was the little girl's name? Pedals. Zuzu. Zuzu's pedals. Zuzu's pedals. Yeah, that was it. Had to remember there.
Yeah. You had to even mimic the, where are the pedals?
For those of you watching today,
yes,
you really
with all
saw
of our
that.
viewers.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an envelope with the pedals.
It's my paycheck, actually.
Oh, nice.
Not really.
I know. That's what we hear from everybody. Not so nice.
Very true.
Yeah, so we're just gonna talk about how shitty the teachers get paid at the end there.
Yeah.
I forgot. We could have been on the cusp. I think, actually, I looked into it. If I read it correctly, he was, in the past few years, or at some point, I think it was in the 2010s, kind of led or was part of the charge to demand for more pay for teachers, which is cool.
Yeah.
Good for him. I wouldn't exactly expect the Young Republicans guy, but I guess it's affecting you, so now it's a problem.
Yeah.
So what we're talking about now, something called podcasting?
Podcasting, you heard him right.
This is where your radio show can be downloaded to your iPod.
For you hip young cats.
The hip young cats with the new doodads.
With the whatchamacallits and the thingamajiggers.
And the who's a what's. There you
what's
go.
A who's it.
Exactly.
Well, you know what's out even now that's far more technologically advanced than the iPod?
What's that?
Bill Gates held a press conference there Microsoft did in January, and he released its Spot technology. And it's actually basically a computer and a watch.
What?
And it will project any image or whatever you want onto the wall. It will project an infrared keyboard onto a flat surface that will give you the appearance of a keyboard, and you actually will be typing, though, on a flat surface. Just to say, if you were to project it onto a table, it's just like a red infrared keyboard you see there, and you're typing on the table, but you see a keyboard so you know where to press. All from the watch, $400.
It's Dick Tracy come to life.
I tell you, right?
I do remember hearing about this, the infrared keyboard.
Yeah, they did make them, but Google bailed on the idea. Like, other companies made them, and they're not good.
Yeah, no. It was one of those things, like, it seems too good to be true, and then you get it, it's like, wow, this is actually dog shit.
Yeah, they're
really.
like as seen on TV now.
Yeah. But, it's better than the iPod, says the teacher.
It's more technologically advanced.
Oh, thank you for the little update here. This was a funny exchange I wanted to include. I haven't really included any audio from the teacher who led the group. He was kind of a hard ass sometimes. Like, he would get on me if the stuff we were talking about was too inappropriate. That shit would traumatize me, though, because you know me. Mm-hmm. I hate getting in trouble for things. So we'd be talking about something, which, again, I hate getting in trouble for things, so I'm going to try to host a fucking shock jock radio show at a high school.
At your high school, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. So we'd be talking about something, and the door at the far room of the far side of the room would open, and he would just poke his head in and go, talk about something else, and close the door, and I'd be like, okay. And we'd immediately switch gears, or he would wait till I went to commercial and come in, and I would just get chewed out the entire commercial break, and just be like, okay. No, you're right. Like, don't play this, don't talk about this, don't say that word. He got on me. I went back into the classroom afterwards, and he just had written on the blackboard, which is just the fucking white erase board, don't say pissed off on the radio.
Okay.
I was just like, okay.
The fuck?
I don't know why I had to write it up there like a fucking real dramatic. Like, I don't know if it needs all that. Mm-hmm. But this one instance is an example that I thought was kind of funny.
We got the amateur jackass video also. This was something that happened.
Can't say it on the radio.
Who?
Jack. Jack A.
Yeah, you can. You can't say that on the radio. Okay,
well, you got
sorry.
your Jack joke in
I don't
there
know Jack A. I don't know Jack.
Yeah, you don't know Jack. That was a good game show. Remember that one?
Yes.
Paul Rubens hosted that.
That was also
Pee Wee Herman.
That also became a bunch of little video games too.
Oh yeah. Well, that was before the.
Pee Wee Herman, he had his hand in everything, didn't he?
Little
Certainly
more,
did,
including his pants.
Can we say that on the radio?
No. The teacher had a habit of singing songs, and I would isolate it. There was one episode he sung Kung Fu Fighting out of nowhere, and I put it like a MIDI instrumental version of under it and made a little remix of it. So at the end of one episode, him and another teacher that I actually was really fond of, who was like my psychology teacher, I think, he was teasing it. He was just like, oh, I'll have something. So at the end of the episode, they both come in together, and they gather around a microphone, and this is how we end the show that week.
You can dance, you can jive, having the time of your life. See that girl, watch that scene, digging the dancing queen.
Mr. Hall's a dancing queen.
Mr. Armour taught me how.
Oh my God!
He will pay dearly.
That was so incredible.
I oversold it a little bit, but you don't understand.
You're marking out for him.
When you're a kid in school,
and your teachers do something weird.
Your teachers do something weird, like sing an ABBA song. You're gonna lose your shit. That's hilarious. This dates the show a bit. And we didn't really have too many examples of this, but us just talking about something very 2004, that's why I included this, because it's just humorous to me, and I've completely forgot we even talked about this.
The tale of Gary Brazalna, 19, amateur videographer, and guy from New Jersey. Yay! Guy from
Nice.
Jersey coming once more. Who made the grave mistake of placing on the internet a brief clip of himself dancing along with a Romanian pop song. He not only mouthed the words, he bounced along in what is now called the Numma Numma dance.
The what?
The Numma Numma dance.
Numma Num.
I'm guessing that's what the arm thing was.
Okay.
I don't know what that was. An arm-flailing, eyebrow-cocked performance executed without ever leaving the chair.
I'm telling you, that's the best dance in the world.
He didn't even get up. It's easier.
He's 19.
He's 19.
There ain't no way. I don't believe his age until I see his ID.
You can lean back, but this is easier.
Yes.
Because in that one, you have to pull up your pants. You got to do the rock away.
Yeah.
Then you lean back. This one, you just pump your fists in the air like a lunatic. Like old Gary.
You want to give it a try, Mark?
What?
The dance.
The Numma Numma dance?
Yeah, the Numma Numma dance.
All right, here we go again. Here we go. I got to play that. Yeah, I'm going to lower this. I'm going to bring the music up. Here we go. That was great. That was the best dance ever. I'll say. Me and Smokey doing the Numma Numma.
Smokey over there like...
He did at one point, very recently, up to this anyway, in 2004, 2005 timeframe, say he did recently quit, so who knows?
Nice.
Maybe he's getting the breath back. Who's to say? At this point, I guess because just people don't know what the room is, because it's not a labeled door, or are looking for my teacher and wanting to talk to him, and maybe he's not in his classroom and they think maybe he's in the media room. So at this point, my Spanish teacher, at the time...
Just random people showing up?
Yeah. Just, you never know who's going to stop by the studios. So...
Who do we got today?
Wow! Spin the wheel. So she pokes her head in, and I convinced her to get on mic for a little bit.
Care to say anything? Anything?
Can I get this on the show?
Sure. Why not?
Hello, Forest View.
Hey, Miss Townsend's here.
Hola, ¿cómo están?
Bien.
Muy bien. Escuchaba la radio. Tu programa muy bueno, me gustó mucho.
Gracias.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo se llama tu amigo?
Smokey.
Hola, Smokey. Muy bien.
I love it. Good job. Bye, y'all.
Thank you. Bye. See you tomorrow.
What year of Spanish was this for you?
What, that I knew gracias?
You knew 3 words.
Bien. And then I just, in English, see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Oh my god. Wasn't this like your 4th year or something?
I only took 2 years of Spanish.
Yeah, you could tell.
Like Spanish 1 and Spanish 2. That was it. And I don't remember anything about it. I took a little bit more in college, but none of it stuck.
Damn.
Stuck.
Uh-oh.
None of it stuck. I gotta go back for English too, apparently.
Yeah, you do.
Well, actually, I did see one of these movies. I saw Spider-Man 2.
Oh, I want to see that. Is it good?
Oh, it is so good. I don't want to give it away. Did you?
Please don't.
Did you see the movie Saw yet?
No, but I'd really like to.
The murderer's the dead guy on the floor the whole time.
Nice.
Got some bad news for you, buddy.
Sorry, everybody listening who hasn't seen the movie by this point.
This 20-year-old movie.
I just ruined it.
800-year-old movie.
This was actually when I reminded myself that I'd seen the movie Darkness. We talked about it on a recent Riff Break filming that won't be out for like another year. But, yeah, we recently tried to think back to all the movies we'd seen in theaters. And I remember just about all of them, but I completely forgot the movie Darkness. But I also, in that episode, just completely spoiled the entire movie because I thought it was bad. But yeah, that's all I got. Little taste of what I was doing in.
I know I didn't
high
talk
school.
as much this time as I usually do, but I was just absorbing everything.
Yeah, I really didn't know what to expect as far as feedback.
Yeah, I mean,
it was really just wanting to share with you, the audience, and as a nice little break from the normal garbage that the O&A show normally gives us.
Yeah, and it gives you an idea of where you started.
Yeah.
And now where you are.
Yeah.
50 years later.
No. No.
And we're still in a closet. By that I mean a tiny apartment.
There was a point where I was recording going off in the closet.
Yeah, you were.
And I even made a point to be like, yeah, this is back to my roots.
Back to my closet. I said I'd never go back in the closet. Now here I am.
I lied.
Mama, I lied. Mama, I lied. I'm not gay.
Oh. That was a lie.
Just a bit. You know, my whole life, it's been a bit.
One big bit, Mama.
I'm as straight as can be.
Then Mama's like, well, you know what? Having you was the bit. You are a bit.
Oh, Mama, I knew I got it from somewhere. Mama, you're so funny.
And then we big old hug. A hug bit.
And she's like, get out of my face.
I love you, Mama. That was a bit.
That was a bit. You know what? I tried to have an abortion.
Oh! Just waiting.
That wasn't a bit.
Yeah. Just looking like.
Oh, Mama, you're so funny. I'm not making a joke.
Well, that's it, everybody. Thank you very much for listening. If by any chance you enjoyed this and you want to hear more of this show from almost 20 years ago, let me know. I'm sure I could scrounge together a few more decent clips worth bringing to the show. Or maybe not, brother.
Oh.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Kung fu fighting.
Yeah. That sucked.